back and look at these verses. We're going to read verses 8 through 17. I know there's a few verses like, dang, y'all actually read the Bible in your church? Yes, we do. 4, verses 8. And it reads, Mordecai also gave him a copy of the written decree issued in Susa for their destruction, that he might show it to Esther and explain it to her and command her to go to the king to beg his favor and plead with him on behalf of her people. And Hatshepsut went and told Esther what Mordecai had said. Then Esther spoke to Hatshepsut and commanded him to go to Mordecai and say, all of the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces know that if any man or woman goes to the king inside the inner court without being called, there is but one law, to be put to death, except the one to whom the king holds out the golden scepter so that he may live. But as for me, I have not been called to come in to the king these 30 days. And they told Mordecai what Esther had said. Then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther, do not think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place. But you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this. Then Esther told them to reply to Mordecai, go, gather all the Jews to be found in Susa and hold a fast on my behalf. And do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. And I and my young women will also fast as you do. Then I will go to the king, though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. Mordecai then went away and did everything as Esther had ordered him. On your way down, I want you to shout, you are the one. You are the one. Now find somebody else around you and say, you are the one. You are the one. Today I want to talk about this chick named Esther. She was a woman that she was known for her beauty, her character, and also her courage. She was a part of what some may even look at as a fairy tale. How many of y'all like fairy tales? If you got kids, especially if you got daughters, you're used to fairy tales. And if you got little daughters under 10, you probably can name all the little princesses that Disney movies have. So she was somebody like in the fairy tale. She came from a disparage or a place of disparity and found herself all the way to the top of the ladder as the queen of an entire country. Many of us, we can probably relate to her as we get to the end of this story. We'll see that, many of us, we came from nothing. I'm not talking about you came from the guttermost to the uttermost, but we really weren't nobody. How many of y'all are kids of famous people? How many of y'all are actually children of somebody who has a whole lot of money? If you are, then you need to let me know right now because I need to hold a little something. But many of us, we came from nothing, but God is taking us somewhere. So Esther, it's an encouraging story how God can take nobody and actually use them in places that were bigger than they ever imagined that they could go. So this is who this Esther is. She's now a queen when we get to our text, but I wish I could go all the way through all the nuts in the boat. So if you would, oblige with me for about 2 or 3 minutes and let me just bring us up to speed from the high level view. So if you go back to Esther chapter 1, we find ourselves in a party, okay? They turning up like it's 1999, they having a party, they kicking it, they getting towed up in the club, okay? They've been partying for like 6 months right now. You know that's a real party, right? You got you partying back in the day when you was in the fraternity in the club and all that part. No. They were partying like it was no tomorrow. And the king told everybody, even his workers, hey, drink like it ain't no tomorrow. So everybody's drunk, even the king. He's so bad that he calls his wife, okay? So we introduce another character. This king is King Ahasuerus. Some call him King Xerxes. His wife at that time is Queen Vashti. He's drunk. He's having a party with his boys. Queen Vashti is in another area of the castle. She's having a party and kicking it with all the women. And he says, hey, I want somebody to go get my wife. Queen Vashti, she's beautiful. He says, go get my wife. Tell her to put a crown on her head and then bring her over here because I want to parade her in front of all of my She says, heck to the no. It ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna do it. She said, no, you're not about to parade me. We don't really know the reason why, but obviously she must have felt like, you know what? I'm more than just some beauty queen. I wish I could really just preach a singles message to the ladies right there and say, ladies, you gotta let some of these brothers know you're more than just beauty. You know what? Maybe I'll give you my phone number, but I gotta make sure when I give you my number that you're not just wanting some pride. You're not just wanting some trophy. So yeah, you're beautiful, but make sure they know you got more than beauty, but you also got brains. Okay, back to the story. So Queen Vashti, she's like, no, ain't gonna happen. Not gonna parade me around like I'm some trophy around your boys. So word gets back to the king, and he says he's mad, he's angry, and all the men are like, DeAndre, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, DeAndre? Your girl up here tripping? You gonna let her act like that? And then they like, you know what? If you let the queen do that, word is gonna get back to the other ladies. And then they gonna start tripping too. They gonna start being disrespectful and not honoring their husbands like we're supposed to do. So what you need to do is put a law that there's a punishment if women don't honor their husbands. So he creates the law, and then he takes the crown away from Queen Vashti. So that sets up an opportunity for Esther to be introduced into the story. So because the king is now queenless, what does he have to do? He got to go find the queen. He got to go find the queen. So he sends this boy out amongst the city and says, bring all the young, beautiful women in, and we're going to have a beauty contest. Basically, that's all it was. We said, we're going to have a beauty contest, and I'm going to find the most beautiful woman there is. And it says that Esther, she begins to win favor among all the people that she runs into. All the people that are helping her, all the king's hand, everybody, when they see her, they see this outstanding, amazing beauty. Just fine as wine, shaped like a Coke bottle, everything pretty in the face, thin in the waist. What else is there? Ain't nothing else left. She was just off the chain in Jesus, man. We would probably just say straight up like we used to say in the day. Back in the day, she was a dime piece. Okay? So when she finally gets a turn to go in front of the king, he sees her and he's like, oh, that's the one right there. You're the one, you're the one. The Bible specifically said that she was graced and favored in the eyesight of the king among all the other women. I had to pause right there. Why? Because today the Link Church turns 4 years old. They got it. And I believe that we didn't turn 4 years old just because we were almighty, just because we were all holy, but because we were chosen and we are favored. Somebody should have celebrated God right there. That's why we're still standing here. That's why we made it and survived when we got kicked out the mall, because God had chosen us and we were favored. That's why when First Lady was talking about the dirty movie theater we were in, the reason why we survived it and didn't lose ourselves is why? Because we were chosen and we were favored. Listen, God's grace called us to be 4 years old. Somebody ain't prayed God twice. That's the most we prayed God in about 2 years, 2 times. So she's chosen, she's favored, and what happens? Now she becomes the queen. This Esther, this beautiful, courageous woman, and we'll discover her story. She now becomes the queen. So while she's living in the castle, she's living it up, there's some problems going on out in the city. Okay? Now we introduce 2 more people, this dude named Haman and this dude named Mordecai. Follow me, it's going to make sense in a minute, I promise. I got to mention one thing though. This is one of only 2 books where God's name is not mentioned.
Wow.
2 books. The Song of Solomon and this book is Esther. Those are the only 2 books where God's name is not mentioned. And it's interesting to me that even though his name is not mentioned, we can see his fingerprints interwoven throughout every story, throughout every verse, throughout every chapter, which should be a testament and encouragement to us that even though we can't see God sometimes, God is still there. There may be seasons in your life where you can't feel God, but guess what? God is still there. That's a sermon that one person, that's the only reason why God sent you here this morning, is so that you could know, understand, and grasp that even though you can't see him in your situation, even though you can't feel him right now, even though there's no way being made out of what you consider to be no way, guess what? God them going out in the city, and that's where we're introduced to this dude named who? Haman, and this dude named Mordecai. Who are they, Pastor? Haman, he's the highest ranking official after the king. He's recently promoted by the time we get to chapter 3 in the book of Esther. And everybody's bowing down to this dude named Haman. Everybody. He hangs at the gate. He's recently been promoted as the highest ranking official outside of the king. Everybody's bowing down to him. But then this dude named Mordecai comes, and he's a Jew. Y'all know who the Jews are? They're God's chosen people. He just so happened to be a Jew. And Mordecai decides, I don't care who's bowing down to this dude. I'm not going to bow down to him. If it was a series, I'd just preach a message right there on stop bowing down to what everybody else is bowing down to. If we can just get the church to stop looking outside and trying to do and be everything that people who don't know God are doing. Guess what? I believe that grace will be even greater on our life. Favor will be even greater on our life if we just stop trying to be like the world. You know, there is a difference between light and darkness. There's a difference between holy and unholy. Mordecai says, I'm not bowing down to no man. You must don't know who I am. I'm a child of God's chosen people. So what thing happened to Haman? He's going to get mad, right? Haman gets mad. He goes to the king. He was like, man, they won't bow down to me. As a matter of fact, what I think we need to do, king, I think we need to kill all the Jews. I think we need to kill all of God's chosen people. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an offering bigger than anybody has ever given you if you pass this law. So king said, cool, if you're going to pay me, that's exactly what I'll do. So they set up the law. The decree goes out that, hey, all of the Jews are about to be annihilated. All of the Jews are about to be killed. So now panic goes out in the city amongst all the Jews. I missed some stuff, Casey. I think I forgot to tell y'all some things. I forgot to tell you that Queen Esther was a Jew. But if we go back to chapter 2, she was told to not tell anybody that you were a Jew when you went into the castle. I forgot to tell you that. But Tasha, I forgot to tell you something else too, I think. I forgot to tell you, Tasha, that Mordecai and Esther are cousins. It's like some Young and the Restless type stuff, right? With no sex. Okay. So Esther's a Jew, and Mordecai's a Jew. God's people are about to be annihilated. Just so happened that this Jewish woman is now the second most powerful person in the kingdom, the most powerful woman in the kingdom, and they're cousins. And they're not only cousins, but Mordecai raised her as his daughter. This thing is getting good right here. She didn't have no father, no mother. We don't know what happened. They probably died when she was young. There's no record of them. So he raised her as her daughter, and now there's a problem. I don't know about you, but can you see God working in this situation? His people are about to be annihilated. But even before the decree went out for them to be killed, destroyed, and annihilated, he had already raised somebody up who had the ear of the king. Somebody missed that all the way right there. You think that it's over. You think this situation is about to take you out. You think it's about to drown you. And because you can't hear God, and because you can't see God, but I came to declare that God was already working this thing out. He already had a plan to deliver you before you even found yourself tied up and tangled up in it. Look at somebody and say, God has already raised up in that place. We're in the intro. We're going to get to the message in a minute. So Queen Esther has the ear of the king, and the decree has went out. And that's where we find ourselves in verse 8. Y'all ready? Can we get into this now? Yeah. So verse 8, what does it say? Go to your Bible. Let's open it. Let's read the Bible. Let's have a Bible study. Mordecai, who is Mordecai again? This is Esther's cousin. He raised her as his daughter. Mordecai, he says, he gives a decree of the attack on the Israel, attack of the Jews, and he sends it to who? He sends it to Esther. He tells the dude, go to my cousin, let her know what's going on, and command her to do what? Command her to go to the king to beg his favor and plead with him on behalf today? Somebody shout assignment. Somebody shout assignment. This is the first thing that we see in this story. And I want to let you know that every born-again believer has a God-given assignment.
That's good, sir.
Every last one of you. Every last one of you, regardless of where you came from, regardless of where you're in right now, if you have accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, you have a specific assignment. What's assignment, Pastor? It's a purpose. It's a destiny. It's a plan that God has for your life that He wants you to fulfill. Your assignment is not about you, but it's about other people. Yes. Esther in verse 8 found out that she had an assignment. Listen, many of us struggle with finding our assignment or finding our purpose or finding God's plan for our life is because we spend too much time seeking for it. Y'all never heard that one before. Y'all never heard that one before. The reason why so many believers are frustrated with not finding their assignment, knowing their purpose. Am I talking to anybody in the house? Is it not frustrating when you don't know what God wants you to do in this season of your life? Many of us, the reason why we can't find it, God showed me, Pastor Jonathan, is that we put more energy into seeking what our assignment is than we do seeking the assignment giver.
That's good.
That's the problem with some of us right there. That's why we can't find what God wants us to do. Because we spend all our time trying to find out what He wants us to do, and we don't spend enough time trying to find out who God is. How can you represent somebody you don't even know? How can you stand in the gap for somebody that you don't even know personally? But I don't know Him. He's God who loves the world, that He sent His only begotten Son. But you know how old LeBron James is too, don't you? You know Beyonce, how old is Beyonce? Huh? 36. What's her middle name? No, somebody knows, but they just not going to answer me right now. So they're like, you could have put me out there, because if I answer that, I know I'm setting myself up for failure. You know who it is. You know what her middle name is. You got it in your phone right now. Her song. What's her last number one hit? Don't say it. But just because we know facts about people doesn't mean we know them personally. But listen, let me tell you, where your assignment is inside of God. If you get God, Marvin, you got your assignment. Yeah. I'm encouraging and challenging somebody, stop seeking the assignment because God never told you to seek the assignment. God never told us in the Bible to seek our purpose. God never told us to seek His assignment. He said what? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and what will happen? All of what? Come on, man. I'm trying to help somebody to teach somebody. So He never told us to seek our assignment. Esther, she didn't choose her assignment. She didn't find her assignment. What happened? Her assignment found her. All she was in the right place at the right time. If you want to know what the assignment is, first of all, be in the right place at the right time. Be seeking God, putting God first, spending time in prayer, opening up the Word of God, getting to know Him through His scriptures. And guess what? He'll begin to reveal your purpose and the specific plan that He has for your life. Somebody shout, seek God first.
Seek God first.
She didn't find her assignment. She just happened to be in the right place at the right time. TLC, you weren't started 4 years ago to be a social club. Woo! You were started 4 years ago because you had an assignment. Come on. 4 years. That's why God started us. That was an assignment. What was the assignment, Pastor? To link people to Christ and link people together. God says, link church. I know there's some guests here, but can I highlight the family every now and then for a few minutes? God says, don't forget your assignment. Your assignment was never to be a church that was overflowing to where people couldn't even fit to get in. That was not the assignment. Those are things that come as a result of actually fulfilling the assignment. But your assignment was to go and find people who He can take your drug addiction away. This is the assignment of the Link Church, to go into all the world and make disciples, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Somebody shout, I got an assignment.
I got an assignment.
So she finds out she has an assignment, and then when we get to verse 11, what does it say? She says, all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces, they know that if any man or woman goes to the king inside the inner court, what's going to happen? I could possibly be put to death. Number 2, somebody shout, argument. 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 So she found out her assignment in verse 8, and then she has an argument in verse 11. Anybody ever been there?
Yes.
Assignments will lead you to argue with God. Anybody ever had an argument with God? Raise your hand if you had an argument with God. Okay, that's about 8. Okay, let me give you the definition of argument, and then I'm gonna ask you again. I said, you know what, Casey? I said they're not gonna see themselves as ever having an argument with God, because they see argument as what they do with their husband, wife, girlfriend, and boyfriend. You know what y'all do? You know. I'm the only one. Yell, scream. Y'all ain't yelling and screaming at y'all, right? Okay. Chase like, no, I never do that. But that's not the definition of argument. What's the definition of argument? Argument, give reasons or cite evidence in support of an idea, action, or theory, typically with the aim of persuading others to share one's view. They didn't catch it, DC. Give reasons or cite evidence in support of an idea, action, or theory, typically with the aim of persuading others to share one's view. Has anybody ever had an argument with God? Has anybody ever heard from God and then you try to give him reasons, you try to give him evidence to support that your idea was possibly better than his idea, your actions, your theory? Well, you try to persuade God. Right? So this is where Esther is. She's having an argument with Mordecai. He says, you've been chosen. He's like, hey, you need to go. And he gave her a command. The Bible it was intentional in verse 8, brother, where it said that he commanded her to go to the king. She was supposed to say, yes, sir, commander, sir. But she said, hold up, cuz. Hold up, big cousin, stepdaddy, whatever you want to be called. You must, listen, everybody knows if I go in front of the king, there's a law that says, I could possibly die. Let me see. Let me pull my palm part of that. Go to the king, possibly save a bunch of people. Go to the king, possibly die. Die? Save people. Die? Okay, cuz, I figured it out. This is not gonna work out. So she's having an argument with him, and that's how we deal with God, especially when it comes to our assignment. Some of you are fighting God's call on your life right now. You're arguing, you're trying to persuade him. God, no, this ain't me. God, you're a preacher. No, not me, God. God, I mean, let me show you, God. Come on. Oh, shoot. God said I'm a preacher. Let me, hey, you free? You good? God, you got some time? Let me show you. Okay. You know I cussed last month, right? I know I'm disqualified. There's no doubt in my mind you can't be a preacher cussing. God is like, you must have never been to the Baptist church. I'm sorry, I'm just playing. That's the preacher if you watch this. I'm just playing. God, you know I haven't went to Bible school. You know I haven't. This was the conversation I was having with God. Not the cousin part. God, you know I ain't been here. You see this resume? GED, God. Okay. I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to persuade you that I'm good where I am. It's cool, God. I'm working in a big church, and you talking about go start the Link Church? God, it's good. That's all good and good right here. I'm comfortable where I am. And you trying to take me to do something else? If that's really what was going on in Esther's mind, like, man, I'm chilling in the castle. Right. I'm getting manicures twice a day. Nails done, hair. I got weave straight off the horse. They just cut it. No, they cut the hair off at 9 and And now you're telling me, go, this is my life? Okay. God, my marriage ain't perfect, but you want me to start a church. And then you start a marriage ministry, connecting couples. You got the wrong one, okay? Shoot. God, you must ain't seen my bank account. It only costs money to start a church. I got a kid. I had one kid then. She's spoiled, God. She wears drugs and all this stuff. You know, I'm gonna have to. I heard stories about people who didn't make it. And this is your. How many of you read a resume to God in the last 90 days? Not me. I only read it to myself. That's who you was really. That's who you was really talking. Was you talking to yourself, or was you kind of talking to yourself, knowing that God will hear you? Amanda, is that what it was? Is that what it was when you find out what God wanted you to do? Argument. So she's having this argument. She realized that this assignment was bigger than her. And I'll be honest with you. The assignment that God has for all of you, it is bigger than you. That's why you have that fear of stepping out. Some of you, you're missing the assignment part because you only think in church. But not everybody's assignment is inside the four walls. So I don't want you to feel like I'm not talking to you because you don't feel called to be a preacher, because you don't feel called to be a worship leader. I say this all the time, that God needs people in the marketplace too. He needs preachers in the marketplace. He needs preachers at McDonald's. He needs preachers at your Fortune 500 company that you work in. He needs you to be a preacher as a CEO of your own business that you've started. That's your assignment. And it's bigger than you. And when something is bigger than us, you know what, Mother, it naturally causes fear. To move here and not really knowing exactly how it's going to end up. See, she had a fear because she didn't know how it was going to turn out, Mama. She didn't know how. She was like, the only thing that came to her mind was the worst thing that could actually happen. And that's some of our problems. Listen, it's not always what you don't know that hinders you. Sometimes it's what you do know.
That's good, Pastor.
What did she say? She said, everybody know the law. Everybody. And sometimes, because you know that other people have failed, it hinders you from accepting your assignment. Because other people have failed in the same thing. That's the problem. Sometimes we know too much. And we allow what we know to lead our actions. That didn't work. That didn't work. I saw somebody try the same thing that God is telling me to try. So what's the point? Because it don't work. So she was having this argument. She knew how it could turn out. It wasn't right. Why do we argue, Pastor, and try to persuade God? Let me give you a couple of reasons why, and then we'll move to our last point. One, we tell ourselves, I'm not prepared. That's what we tell ourselves. And I didn't feel prepared to actually start the church. But I got to a point spiritually where I was really afraid to tell God no. I didn't start the church because I was so courageous, but I'm really, I'm at a point now, Casey, I'm afraid to tell God no. Listen, if life is as tough as it is when you're in His perfect will, what is it actually like when you're out His will?
Come on, help us.
Listen, life ain't perfect when you're doing everything God wants you to do. Life, marriage ain't perfect when you're praying, fasting, and giving. And if it ain't perfect when I'm doing what He wants me to do, I can only imagine what it's like when I'm not. So, but we'll tell ourselves, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared to be this. I'm not prepared to be no CEO. I'm not prepared to be no pastor. I'm not prepared to be no preacher. I'm not prepared to be no ministry leader. I'm not prepared to be no entrepreneur. But God says, how you feel about you doesn't determine how I feel about you. How you see yourself, God said, doesn't determine how I see you. So it's not only that I feel I'm not prepared, but sometimes we convince ourselves I don't look the part. I can't be successful in this because I don't look the part. How can I thrive in this company when I look at the top? I don't look like none of them. What did Esther tell? Esther wasn't even part of that country, but she made it to be the queen. You don't have to be prepared in your own eyesight. And you also don't have to look the part. Last thing, I'm not the best. Woo, they kill us every time. That's holding so many believers back from walking in their assignment because they say, I'm not the best. The Link Church would not be here if I stayed with I'm not the best because I fought that. I ain't the best preacher, God. Who gonna come hear me preach? All y'all crazy if you come to hear me preach. I wouldn't even come hear me preach. Except for the off nights, I sure enjoy my church. I don't preach like the people on TV, God. I don't preach like my favorite preachers. God, I don't preach like T.D. Jakes. I don't preach like Jonathan Ford. You see how he sing? I can't sing as well as some of the others. Y'all see that? Y'all like that, didn't y'all? Y'all thought I was going to go, what? I can't sing as well as some of the others, like the Marvin Wine. I can sing a lot better than some, but just not as well as the others. Don't get it twisted. Y'all want to get something? Come back next week. But that's what a lot of you haven't moved forward in your assignment just because you feel like I'm not the best. But God needs more than if all God used was the best, who would be? If that's all he used is the best, the church, if these are all the best musicians in the city, what about the other 900 churches in the city? God need a musician in every last one of those churches. He needs more than just the best. That's why he needs you. That's right. Not because you are the best, but because you are the best. The best is not the only one that's needed. Or else I'll be the only singing preacher there is. Okay, so we had what? We talked about the assignment. We talked about the argument. She sends the argument back. And then what happens? Mordecai, he gets the message. Y'all look at this verse with me. Look at verse 13. Mordecai told them to reply to Esther. I gotta stick right here for a second. He said to Esther, do not think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. For if you keep silent this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place. Listen, God wants to use you, but if you don't say yes, he'll use somebody else. He will. I want to debunk a post that will get you 1,000 likes. What God has for you is for you.
Amen.
Yeah. Kim, you believe that what God has for you is for you?
Yes.
The statement is true in and of itself, but the way we use it is false.
Right.
Because we tell what that really means, the way we use it, what we use it as, it means that it doesn't matter what happens. You're going to get everything God has for you, and you'll become everything God wants you to become.
Yes, sir.
But Mordecai had to let her know, listen, one, you're going to die if you don't go to him. And two, if you don't go, God's going to use another one. He's going to use another believer. So what happened? Esther, there won't be a book in the Bible about you if you don't go stand in front of the king. If you don't say yes, you will miss out on some stuff that God has for you. Then he says, not only will you miss out, but how do you know that God didn't raise you up in this position just for this purpose? Where you are now is on purpose.
That's true.
The company you're at right now is on purpose.
Yeah.
Whoa, somebody just wanted to cuss me out right there. You're like, look, ain't no way in the world God put me here right now. At this moment in time, where you are in that company is part of your assignment. The church you're at, that God put you in right now, today, is part of your assignment. The neighborhood that you live in right now is raggedy, it's tore up, you hate these apartments, but you're there to be a light in that dark place. Your assignment. So So she's done with her argument, and now she's like, let me think about this thing. He done told me there's an assignment. He done told me that if I say no, God's just going to use somebody else. Don't want that. Because I've been telling God yes during worship all morning long. And then he said, I might die too. And shoot, I might well. Somebody shout acceptance. Number 3 if you're writing. What happens in verse 18? Last verse, and we're out of here like last year. What does she say? Not verse 18, but 16. She says, basically, I accept. She says, I accept the assignment. She gives him what she says, go gather all the Jews, let's hold a fast, don't eat, don't drink. My young women will fast with me, and guess what? I'll make a decision today that if I die, then let me die following and walking in my assignment. What possibly changed in her mind between the argument and the acceptance? I got 2 possible reasons. Because acceptance comes when you realize you're not here by chance. You can accept your assignment when you realize I'm not in this state, in this season of my life by chance. That's not who I am. You thought I was here because I was brokenhearted? No, it's not by chance. God wants to use that. You can accept it when you realize that you're not here by chance. Last one, we out of here. Acceptance comes when you refuse to allow the possibility of failure to control your action. She said, if I perish, I perish. If I die, I die. In other words, I'm going to step off the stage. I'm going to attempt to walk on water. And if I drown, it doesn't matter. God can do a lot through you if you just make a decision that, hey, however this turns out, I'm accepting the assignment. However this turns out. When we started this church, I had to accept the assignment. Since I didn't know how this was going to end up. I didn't know how we would pay for this. When we started this church in my living room, I didn't even know where we would be. I didn't even know what city we would be. I didn't even know we would be in Irving. But I had some crazy people like Ashley, had some crazy people like Rolanda, had some crazy people like Faith that would come and say, I'm going to be a part of this church. We don't even know where it's going to be. We don't even know how we're going to pay the bills. We don't even know what it takes at that point to really have a church. But I just said, I accept. Why? Because I realized that I was the one. Esther realized that she was the one. You got to realize you are the one. You're the one. Diana, the assignment that God has for you, you are the one. You have been chosen. You're the one. I'm done. One of my favorite movies is an old classic named The Matrix. Y'all remember The Matrix? Yes. 1991. Y'all still doing that? Let's have a Matrix dance. Come back. So the best part of that movie is when Neil, he's fighting, towards the movie. The entire movie, everybody's trying to convince themselves that Neil is the one. Yeah. It's only like one person. Morpheus is like the only one that actually believes it throughout the entire movie. Guess what? Neil doesn't even believe that he's the one. We got a lot of Neils in here. He's fighting. He gets hit a couple times. He's passed out. They got him on the machine. It's beeping. His heart stops. Everybody's in there. He's not the one. Because when he's the one, he wouldn't be dead. If he was the one, he wouldn't be fed up. He wouldn't be struck down right there. He would have defeated everybody. There's no way that he could be the one. And then the love of his wife, she kisses him on the lips. Y'all gotta go back and watch the scene. And he gets a kiss. You know what happens when you get a kiss from the Princess of Peace? He gets a kiss, and then tongue starts rising up. Dante down on the end. That's what a kiss will do. A good kiss will do for you. And then he wakes up. He gets up. Now the 3 dudes that he's fighting, they're down the other side of the hallway. So they're like, it's the same dude we've been beating up all movie long. So the main guy, he runs, he pulls out his guns, and he starts shooting. I know you remember that scene now, right? they just stop. And he's looking at the bullets just stopped in midair. And then he touches one, and it falls. And then he looks at him, and then all the rest of them fall. And then his girl says, he's the one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's classic right there. He'd been getting beat up all movie long. Nobody else believed in him. But it started with a kiss. My musicians in here. It started with a kiss. We can get out of here right now. We'll just say I came all the way from Dallas, Texas to Los Feliz, Texas to tell somebody that today, 4 years later, God has kissed you and now you can rise up from your dead situation. Why? Because you are the one. Look at somebody and say you're the one. 4 years later, you are the everybody stand up. Do I have anybody in the Lake Church in the house? I asked God, I said, God, you gotta give me a prophetic word for the Lake Church.
Yes.
This isn't for everybody, this is just for the house. Stand to your feet, stand to your feet. I said, God, you gotta give me something prophetic to give me. And he said, this is to the Link Church, specifically. But over the next 12 months, you will go through unplanned and uncharted waters. And everybody who stays in the ship by September of 2019, you will walk successfully in an area that you never planned to walk in. That's the prophetic word that God gave me. That over the next 12 months, the Link Church will walk in unplanned and uncharted waters. And everybody who stays in the ship, by this time next year, you will walk in areas successfully that you never even planned to walk in. 4 years.